There are a lot of hot-button issues that come up in our little corner of YouTube. Some seem to bring out the best in us, and some bring out the worst, but no topic even comes close to bringing out the crazies as quickly as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Well, probably talking about Ron Paul comes close, but not quite. In my most likely futile attempt to answer what I know some of the comments will be to this video, I will address a couple really poor arguments on this topic. One is the argument about which side fights dirtier. Inevitably, one side will come up with something awful that the other side did, and then the factions will one-up each other until the list of atrocities and body counts extends forever. Look guys, if I can make a list of horrible things that each side has done that is longer than my arm, which I think most people that are paying attention are able to do, then I think it's safe to say that even if any gods were real, that nobody would be eligible for sainthood or martyrdom. So let's stop pretending, shall we? Feel free to spare me the conspiracy theory lessons too. American politicians of all types are keen on supporting Israel because they're an ally in an area where we don't have very many allies. Until oil is less important to us, this is always going to be a reason to maintain close ties with them. Does Israel's lobby AIPAC by politicians? Sure they do. So do the Koch brothers. Don't pretend it's any different. We lobby foreign countries and foreign countries lobby us. If you think that Israel has some more significant and malicious hold on us than that, or that they could somehow crash our economy at will just because Jewish people own some banks, then you better explain in detail exactly how they could do this. If a conspiracy theory had decent evidence, I wouldn't call it a conspiracy. Recently, though, there was one really intriguing development in the conflict, and that was the Palestinian bid for statehood in the UN. This was instantly and publicly rejected by the US, despite our policy of an eventual two-state solution that we always like to give lip service to, but not really move towards substantially. I thought that this would be something everyone could embrace. It was a positive diplomatic step by Palestinians that didn't involve threats or killing people, as it so often has in the past. It would seem like we should be encouraging this. Israel reacted as if it was a horrible act of terrorism and responded by building more settlements in the West Bank to further ensure that the negotiation of a Palestinian state will be as messy as possible. What do they think Palestinians should do to get diplomacy moving? I've been as frustrated as most observers at the seemingly complete inability for the two sides to make significant progress in decades. I wonder if the two sides in this conflict truly understand that their death spiral is fueling so much of the religious hatred around the world. If this were solved tomorrow, we still have Kashmir and the Balkans and various other potential flashpoints, but nothing sells religious war like the occupied territories, and this war has an effect on everyone in ways you might not have even considered. Would Iran have this much regional support if it were settled already? There is certainly a long and violent history in this part of the world, and I understand that it will take some time before it's all solved. But now is the time to start making progress. Every time anyone steps on a plane or a train or goes into a tall building, some people wish they could take that target out in the blink of an eye and take you with it, a pawn in their little game of my God is bigger than your God. One of the top reasons is almost always the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We can either continue our version of military outreach forever, or we can remove fuel from the fire by starting to solve this diplomatically and starting now. To those on both sides of the conflict that are dragging their heels, I have just one question. How much longer are you going to hold the rest of the world hostage?